Hey, it's the Entertainment Idiots, and today we're gonna review Grown Ups.
AKA this comment. Hey! Oh, man.
That's not Grown Ups.
Yeah, it is. This guy in this car looks like an adult.
So, IMDb gives this a 6 out of 10.
A little too high if you ask me.
Yeah.
And Rotten Tomatoes gives this a 10%. More fitting, but too low.
It's like a bomb movie.
And the Metacritic gave it a 30.
Yeah.
More appropriate, but still low.
So, the movie starts off with the kids back in 1978 in a basketball tournament.
Yeah, and this kid is flirting with a girl he likes over here.
Missing the basic point.
Yeah, it's a championship game. So, apparently, these kids are actually really good at basketball. Huh, go figure. And so, they ultimately end up winning the basketball game.
Nice hat, by the way.
Oh, thank you. And that's the end of this underdog story. Have a good night, everybody.
So, they have a celebration about the victory of their basketball game. So, the coach tells them to still play good as if they were in that good basketball game, and everybody's like cheering for them and such.
Of course!
Dude, what was the whole point of this hammer?
Simple. Because I wanted a hammer for this. Because here's Johnny!
Cut to 30 years later, where Adam Sandler is a Hollywood agent.
Of course Adam Sandler will be in it. This is a Happy Madison movie, after all.
And his name in this movie is Lenny. So he tries to get his kids to play a classic game, Chutes and Ladders, but they obviously refuse because, they're addicted to their video games.
Well, what do you expect? This is 2010, after all. And this little girl here put ultimately, drove a car into something, as you do as a 4-year-old girl.
Because she thought it was heaven. By the way, she's his daughter.
Yeah, I already said that.
And finds out that his former coach, died.
So, cut to Kevin James over here.
Who's swimming in his pool.
Yeah, and he's trying to get out, and ultimately he floods the place.
Breaks the whole pool and floods the entire freaking backyard.
Well, as you do.
Yes, he flooded his whole house.
Yeah, including mine. I mean, look at this. Luckily it was that storm came the other day, because as a result, now the water froze.
Wait a minute. You mean about the storm that happened right before we did the It review?
First of all, it was after, and exactly.
So cut to Chris Rock, who apparently has some family troubles because his wife is a bitch.
Yeah, and as a result, she buys them pizza.
Instead of his food. So cut to Rob Schneider.
And no, this is not the guy that created Drake and Josh, iCarly, Zoe 101, and, oh yeah, Victorious, Sam and Cat, and the new Henry Danger, all Nickelodeon series.
Oh my god, don't remind me of those.
Hey, I know.
I'm sorry, but you forgot Game Shakers and The Amanda Show.
We don't talk about those either.
One Course Meal is one of the worst episodes.
We're not even at that review yet!
So, next Friday, the funeral is held for their dead former coach, and everybody's gathering around.
And best friend.
Yes, and best friend. So, the reunion begins where everybody meets up with the family and everything. All the friends have met up and all. So, while the funeral is going on, Lenny is asked to make a speech about his former dead coach / best friend.
Yeah, and he was not prepared.
What? What do you know about that? Not prepared for a funeral.
I'm not sure how you do that.
So, after the funeral, Adam Sandler, aka Lenny, takes the entire group to a cabin by a lake where they'll be spending the majority of the summer there for the 4th of July. Once they enter the inside of the cabin, it's just a bunch of scenes of boring filler of them walking and talking.
Yeah, this entire scene is pointless. I could erase it and nothing would be all that different. In fact, this scene never happened. Digitally erased.
Dude, why are we walking downstairs?
Simple. Because it was getting hot in there.
And we're in some kind of basement.
Yeah, you may recognize this room.
Yes, does everybody recognize this room from the Charlie Brown review?
And the Iron Man one.
Yes.
Let's get back to the review already.
Alright. So, now the guys are hanging out, just like the old days back 30 years ago.
Ah, that must be a trip down memory lane.
Yep. The good old days.
Good times.
Lenny's not too happy about the fact that the kids are staying inside playing video games all day.
Hey, that's what I did when I was in 2010 as well, but this is kind of a little rude considering you're in the countryside at the moment.
And he wants them to play outdoors more, and the others show one of the greatest things they ever do. And that involves doing some stupid shit in the woods.
Why not? It's just time for a hike. Oh, and don't worry about the closed captions. Basically, that's just what they're saying in the movie.
So Adam Sandler ends up finding a rope on a tree.
Yes, but they wonder what to do with it. How about jump into water with it?
So Kevin James has the idea to do it himself because obviously they did this kind of stuff when they were kids. David Spade tells him to go on top of a big rock so he can swing
Smart.
better. Yeah. And he gets ready to swing, and yes, he does.
And he copies George of the Jungle.
Until everything's going so far and good until he hits a big tree and lands in the bush. So after the whole impact, he pretends to have a broken bone, only to fool the others that it's not a real bone.
The President of Pixels, everybody. Yeah, that's just a really cruel joke. They laugh. So they decide for it to be dinner time, and this entire scene is just basically filler. Again.
Totally pointless to the whole movie.
Yeah. Erase the scene.
So after all the dirty jokes, Lenny reunites with his old rival.
And he's just basically daring him to have a rematch in a game.
When it happened over 30 years ago.
You think a guy would let something go?
Okay, you can't just do that after 30 years.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Most people there are still going to think that they won. This is 30 years later. This is not like a rematch next week or something like that. Ay caramba, what the heck is going on with these movies?
So the next day, Lenny's cooking some bacon on a bug zapper.
Okay. Oh yeah, and Lenny decides to stay there because he was supposed to go away that day.
For a fashion show because of something his wife was doing.
And now his wife and his kids are pissed at him for that.
Yes, because they are bored here. So in the next scene, to have some time alone without their families, they decide to go kayaking.
Cause why not?
And we have a bunch of stupid jokes here where it involves Kevin James taking a piss in the lake when a bunch of girls in a boat pass by seeing him.
Ay. What was the point of that? Okay, erase!
And apparently I was right. He actually ends up taking a piss in the freaking lake.
Why not? Some people piss in the lake all the time, but the other guys didn't want him to do that, so why would he do that?
I don't know. And we're treated for 30 seconds of boring filler because this takes a very long time.
Okay, erase again. Enough with the filler already.
You've got to stop putting it in. It's only going to make the movie worse. So he keeps on peeing in the water until a boat full of girls shows up.
Yeah, because, that'll embarrass them even more.
And when he notices them, they look very weirded out. Well, obviously.
What do you expect?
And he's like, yeah. So they talk about how he was a best friend to them and all, and how they miss him so much. Yeah. And while they're doing this, their friend, played by Rob Schneider, is throwing his ashes out into the woods.
Yeah, they just keep on showing it, I kind of feel like you could have just dumped it all at once.
Well, it's a tradition, I guess.
Yeah, I know, but it's just sad to look at in general.
Well, they're going to have some very fun days without their coach, aren't they?
We'll see.
So this keeps going on and on for a long time.
Longer than it needs to.
Since their friend is depressed about the death of their coach, they decide to cheer him up by having a little fun by playing a game which involves shooting an arrow.
And one of them staying there.
So, apparently they keep fighting about this because this is really stupid until Adam Sandler
fires it
into the sky. And now they get all freaked out and they have to run. This leads to a slow montage of all the characters running away because they don't want to get hit by this arrow.
This scene should have been, sped up. At least that way, it would be a little more hilarious. Kind of like Alvin and Chipmunks going ah!
They end up tripping, fall into some mud, as what happened to David Spade. Chris Rock being hit in the face by a branch. And Adam Sandler running away in order to protect the dog, which belongs to Kevin James, from a flying arrow.
I rather would have gotten both of these guys out of the way here.
But instead, his friend prays until he ends up stepping on David Spade, spewing more mud into his face. So Rob Schneider, without any thinking, thinks he wins the entire thing until an arrow flies right into his foot pretty damn deep. Alright, stop putting gory moments in comedies!
I know, right?
So his friends bring his injured friend back out of the woods in order to help.
The more that arrow is being seen in his foot, the more gruesome it feels.
After pointless bickering about who should help, the scene cuts back to a cabin where it's just another bunch of boring fucking filler.
Again? Ay, Dios mío. Someone, please, erase the scene.
All it is just a bunch of bickering from Adam Sandler's bitch wife. who keeps on bickering about... So the next day, Lenny's wife agrees that they should just stay here because it's very fun and there's no point of having a stupid fashion thing. And so they decide to go to a water park.
Well, that sounds fun.
So they arrive at the water park.
Ah, that sounds like fun. Hey, maybe nothing will happen that's bad this time.
Kind of reminds me of Splish Blast when I went there.
Yeah, same here.
And Mountain Creek. Well, the water park scene is not that bad. I mean, there's just a few bits of filler in it, but it's still good. The only annoying part is the guys' wives act like total bitches.
As usual. Meanwhile, Kevin James' son is actually just plain annoying them while they're waiting online for a ride.
So he has a brilliant idea to cut in front of the line by climbing up some sort of tower. And so the wives just keep acting like bitches over here.
Yeah, nothing's ever changing.
And they're checking out this guy. Morning.
Morning. Man, this review's taking longer than usual.
Too long that we had to do it in a second day.
Yeah, day 2. That's the first time that happened.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy. A nice hat, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
So, when they get up to the slide, the maintenance worker starts acting like an asshole.
Yeah, for starting with hitting on his daughters, and, well, basically says on how hot they are.
But he doesn't take it very well, because he doesn't believe that that's his daughters, who calls him ugly, well, actually fugly, which gets him mad, so he pushes the asshole right down the slide.
Well, what do you expect, really? He had that coming.
Yeah, got it. And now we go to the most infamous scene of the movie where Kevin James once again takes another leak.
Why am I not surprised? First the lake, now the pool. What next? The ocean?
So his daughter tells him that they put a chemical in the pool that makes urine turns blue. He doesn't believe her, but he actually ends up going with it and actually ends up pissing in the pool, which makes everyone freak the fuck out.
Well, what do you expect, really? All of a sudden the water is turning dark blue. Well, at least it looks more like water now.
Why am I not surprised?
Yeah, and Lenny all of a sudden is going to be swimming into that water.
With his daughter on a big slide. And apparently the others do it too.
Why am I not surprised? You know, this comedy is just boring half the time. I mean, you know, Chris Rock and Adam Sandler were probably the best parts. But...
And Kevin James.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's just not really funny half the time. The pissing jokes are proof of that enough. And not to mention, I mean, last summer I saw Ant-Man and it was like a superhero comedy, and that's a movie I'd rather be reviewing because it does half of these jokes actually kind of better.
You know, I actually do have the DVD right here.
Wow. Nice. And now we cut to, well, another filler scene. Seriously, what is the counter now at? 7 or something?
Yeah, they're just basically talking and drinking like a campfire or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's nice and all, but pointless. Erase the scene. Now it really is at 7.
This whole thing is pointless to the entire freaking movie.
Yeah.
I mean, what is the plot right here?
I got no clue.
I mean...
Whatever. Skip.
So the next day... David Spade, I don't know what the hell his name is, I don't care, is talking about how he had sex with some girl last night, and talks about how she got a cut on her forehead or something, until the actual girl is right behind him, which is one of Rob Schneider's daughters, who actually does have the cut, which literally pisses Rob the fuck off. He ends up chasing him because... Yeah. He ends up chasing him to the point where he literally wants to kill him or something because he slept with his own daughter. Am I surprised?
No.
Are you?
No. But ultimately, they dumped the sea turtle there, and he's trying to throw him in there.
He's trying to escape. Dude, they did not dump the turtle in the water.
That's what I thought when I saw the movie.
Huh? What do you expect?
Oh, that's what it looked like. I'm just saying, am I right?
And now we come to one of the most boring scenes in the whole fucking movie.
Well, basically it was building up to it, so it makes sense.
Yeah. And now we're back in this weird basement.
Well, what do you expect? It was getting hot in there again.
And what are you drinking?
Pepsi.
Oh. Well, apparently the asshole club, which I like to call these guys because these guys are total assholes.
Yeah, they come in. Hey, Joker, get out of here.
So apparently he once again challenges Lenny to a basketball rematch again. After the adults lose, they actually get their sons to compete.
Well, what do you know? At least they're more likable in the second half of the film.
And the funny part is, this has no filler in it.
What a twist!
So it's Adam Sandler's turn to take the ball.
Yeah, and, well, basically he tries using his technique from earlier to try to make the basket.
But it turns out we get another slow motion edit.
Well, actually it's more appropriate here.
Yeah, the slow motion does go on for a little bit. I mean, just get to the point, but he ends up throwing the ball.
And, well...
Bounces off the hoop, and ends up falling downward.
It's the pilot to Zoe 101. He fails.
Which means that they lost. Anyway, they lose, and Adam Sandler literally admits to his son that, they've got to win for once, because they always lose all the time. But sure, why not?
Yeah, because, well, what do you expect, really?
So, during the celebration of Independence Day, David Spade, being an asshole, literally launches up another arrow, which makes everybody run away.
Yeah, and it's just basically now they're reusing the same plot as earlier.
The same thing with everybody running and whatnot.
Again, you really want an arrow? Just watch that TV show on the CW.
And they actually managed to pull out a racist joke in this.
Ugh. And you could guess who it hits. The guy with the broken body.
Everybody's running while by the way, he's played by Steve Buscemi.
Yeah, because earlier, basically, he did a really...
And it lands right in his foot, and he's lost, basically.
Ouch.
So, a brief overview.
Well, I'd say I give this like a 5.8 or something, but it's only getting that high specifically because they got some pretty good actors into this film. But the problem really with this movie is, for one, during the first half, the kids are annoying, and not to mention some of the jokes here just fall flat in general. It just doesn't work. I mean, I just don't know what to say. I mean, so far, of all the reviews you've done, this is probably my least favorite of the bunch, simply because I'm not a fan of this movie. I mean, there's tons of better comedies out there, and this is sadly not one of them. You really want a good comedy? Let me think a sec.
Oh, I don't know, Ant-Man?
Well, yeah, but I was talking about regular comedy, but yeah. But basically, what I would say would be a good, legitimate, just like a good, like, romantic comedy. Go watch, oh, I know, Daddy's Home, that new movie. Yeah, I'd say that'd be a much better one. Yeah, overall, this is just not my favorite movie, and I'm surprised this movie got a sequel. Yeah, this movie got a sequel.
Grown Ups 2. Which I believe is 2013.
Yes it is. I remember the trailers. Either way, I'm not looking forward to that review when we get to it. But don't expect it for a while. How about you, Alex? What do you give this movie?
Well, probably like a 6.1.
What? Why that side?
There's some stuff I actually like about this movie.
Oh yeah? Name it.
The whole arrow joke.
How do you like that joke? It's just an insult both times.
Whatever.
Fine. Either way, this movie, if you like it, go ahead. I can understand why some people would like this, but all I'm saying is, it's not for me.
Yeah.
Well, see you in the next review, and stay cool.
Subscribe to the Entertainment Idiots with Michael Segal and Alex Privman.
Subscribe!
For more reviews and other entertainment stuff.